Good day and welcome to this X-Celerate webinar where we look at an introduction of AVEVA Edge. My name is Trevor Naidu and I'm a solutions consultant at ISCube and a Viva Select partner. In this session, we aim to give you some valuable information to make decisions on a product that can ultimately save you time, to help you create a product faster and affordable with higher quality, of course. That's one of our goals here. So in this presentation, we're going to outline the product, discuss the main features and competitive advantages, look at some technical demos, learn a little bit about licensing, and conclude with some key takeaways of the product. So let's get started. Okay, so this slide just highlights the different portfolios that we have. You may see this in some of our other X-Celerate sessions where we highlight which portfolio the product sits in. With the Viva Edge, it belongs to the Operate portfolio for operations and control. So let's look at some of the challenges that are faced in industry. We know that changes arise from digital revolution are radical and pose a challenge. The heads of operations and maintenance face challenges such as insufficient information on operations and maintenance activities and empowering mobile workers to help them carry out remote operations. The heads of IT and OT face challenges such as cybersecurity and providing uninterrupted services with minimum downtime when integrating existing and new systems with thousands of edge devices. Finally, the heads of research and development need to produce new ways of working and to provide solutions which are easy to maintain, support, and integrate. But due to existing infrastructure in place, which are made up of disparate systems and multiple standards, upgrading to new systems increases the total cost of ownership considerably. With AVEVA Edge, we have the solution that can eliminate these challenges. So let's look at how AVEVA Edge can help resolve these issues. So if you look at the value that AVEVA Edge offers, the benefits are endless. It's an easy to use yet still very powerful, flexible and affordable HMI and SCADA software for Industry 4.0 and Industrial Internet of Things. Basically solutions for PCs, industrial panels, embedded devices, mobile devices. And one of the main features of the product, or a big feature of the product, is the ability to develop your project once and being able to deploy it and run it on many different operating systems. So let's explore our Edge to Enterprise solution. So Edge is really coming to the forefront for applications in digitization and industrial IoT. Edge to Enterprise is divided into basically three areas. Firstly, in asset location, we have AVEVA Edge, Plant SCADA, and InTouch HMI. This is your plant level where you gather the information from. Edge came in to basically extend our portfolio and increase small footprint application for Windows embedded devices, IoT View, and Linux. So if you look at how AVEVA InTouch has grown, not only in its features and performance, but as well as its price point, it left a gap for the HMI space and now for the industrial IoT space. So Edge fills that gap, basically extending capability for a lightweight HMI that can actually run off a Raspberry Pi device. Then we have our control room where we would have our system platform or unified operation center for larger applications, and up top the enterprise level where we have our cloud-based development and deployment consisting of AVEVA Integration Studio and AVEVA Insight. Therefore, our Edge to Enterprise solution allows us to connect in a multitude of ways. So let's look at some of the use cases for AVEVA Edge. So AVEVA Edge is a software for data communication, data manipulation, and data presentation. It can be used as a traditional HMI or SCADA, but can also be used for different use cases, such as connecting to any device. We have over 100 built-in drivers where we can interact with any device. And if we don't have a specific driver, we can also be used as an OPC server as well as an OPC client. We can connect through any network or protocol and can be used as a communication gateway between the local devices and the cloud. And we can also be used as a protocol converter between different devices with different protocols. We can also access data by reading data from files, databases, and devices, then manipulate this data, and then being able to publish this data to other databases or to the cloud. Therefore, AVEVA Edge is much more than just a traditional HMI software. It's a complete set of tools with easy to use configuration while still being sustainable, collaborative, and cost effective, and also keeping security in mind. Okay, so moving on to the development environment. Okay, so let's look at the development environment within AVEVA Edge. So the look and feel for Edge 2023 is a much more modern design, aligning with our other products such as System Platform with the ribbon type menus and the monochrome color scheme. The interface is still the same. On the left, we have our Project Explorer with the tabs at the bottom. Then we have our watch window and output window at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, this is the new interface that we see in AVEVA Edge. All of the dialogues, interfaces, and icons were not only modernized, but it allows you to be more productive by minimizing the number of clicks and improving how intuitive this product is, as well as the performance during runtime. Here we can see we can switch between the light mode and the dark mode for your preference. So yeah, this is the new environment. It makes it much more easier and faster for both new and existing customers to use this product. Okay, another one of the exciting features that were added to AVEVA Edge when 2020 was released was the inclusion for industrial graphics, so formerly known as Orchestra Graphics. So the same editor that you use in System Platform or even standard InTouch is now available in AVEVA Edge. You still have the native symbols for AVEVA Edge, allowing compatibility for older versions, as well as the inclusion for industrial graphics and situational awareness graphics. So giving us this ability to have consistency across our portfolios, allowing for us to use symbols created in System Platform within AVEVA Edge and vice versa. So I also have a quick video demonstrating how we can import industrial graphic symbols from InTouch into AVEVA Edge. So let's look at that. Okay, so here we have our development environment, as we can see. Then we have our industrial graphic symbols, where you can see we have industrial graphic library as well as the situational awareness library. So we can utilize these graphics within our project. Then if you look at the items that we have, we could import libraries or export libraries as well, create new symbols and so on. So in this example, I'm going to show you how to import. So here you can see this is where I brought in the industrial graphic library as well as the situational awareness library. But here I'm going to show you how to import a file. So select a file. Here's my file that I've exported from my InTouch application, and I can import that into my AVEVA Edge application. So click on OK, and that brings through my symbols so that I can utilize it in my AVEVA Edge project. Now, in order to use this, there we can see it's brought that training folder in, including my two symbols that I've exported as part of that package. So all I need to do is insert an industrial graphics screen. Once that is done, I can then embed my symbol. So as you can see, this is the same editor that we have within AVEVA InTouch as well, or System Platform. So here's my training folder, and in there is my symbol that I've just imported. And as you can see, by a simple click, I can add that or embed that into my symbol editor. Then from there, I can just save and close, and then I have access to the symbol within my project, which I can use. Okay, so let's look at the portability of AVEVA Edge. So the development environment or the IDE is called AVEVA Edge Studio, and it can be used to create applications and deploy them to various runtimes, as you can see listed below. The runtime for Windows 10 desktop or servers is called the AVEVA Edge SCADA. The runtime for Windows IoT is called AVEVA Edge Embedded HMI, and this is suitable for embedded industrial panels running Windows IoT. And then finally, we have AVEVA Edge IoT, which runs on a Linux. Okay, so now we're looking at our mobile access then client. So we know that everyone wants to access their data from anywhere to be more efficient. And AVEVA Edge offers built-in clients that supports HTML5, which will access data through your smartphone, tablet, or PCs without the full installation of the software on these devices. There are also applications for Android and iOS to get you connected to the runtime, and our mobile access then client is continuously improving, and a lot of effort is being put into mobile access. So here we look at a secure viewer thin client, which is another thin client which we have, which can be used in, let's say, large machines with various operator interface points. So with this thin client, we can install a secure viewer app to the various interface points on that machine and point that to our SCADA runtime. So the operators have that interface at various points. And by bringing in or using these clients, it gives your operators and maintenance staff the flexibility to be at the right place at the right time while still keeping security in mind. So now let's look at how we can set up mobile access within our AVEVA Edge project. Okay, so let's look at how we can use mobile access within our project. So here I'm just using the demo application built in with the AVEVA Edge. Firstly, we need to verify the mobile access service. So we saw that it's in the manual state. In order to get it into the automatic state, we need to save all our screens as HTML type. So once you select that option, all of your screens will be converted to HTML. Then we are complete. We can verify in the runtime task that now the mobile access service is set to automatic, meaning that when your project starts, you will have access to this. Okay, we can also go to the project tab and look at the mobile access settings. This is where we can make some changes to settings to update rates, tweak performance, and so on. In this case, we're not going to make any changes. We leave that as default, save and close, and then start up our runtime. Once our application starts up, we can have access to our browser or our application from the browser. So I can click on the shortcut that takes me to the browser, and here I can see I have full access to my application from my browser. Okay, so I can go through the application, same as my desktop version. In terms of the URL, it obviously needs to point to where the application is running on. And that's in a few steps, we can have mobile access set up on our application. Okay, so let's look at the interoperability of AVEVA Edge. We know that there's always a need to connect to PLCs, robots, and databases in the automation industry. And AVEVA Edge has you covered in that area, as well as connectivity to the cloud. So Edge has built-in connectors or drivers for a number of protocols, and there is no license limit to the amount of communication drivers that you can use. So this will cover your needs for communicating to PLCs, network devices, and robots, and can also act as a gateway between them. So if you notice, these arrows in this slide are bidirectional, meaning that you can communicate between any of these options. So this makes AVEVA Edge incredibly powerful when you need to communicate to a device that nobody else can. So if you look at being a machine builder and system integrator, why have different HMIs depending on the PLC brand that you use? Stick with one HMI to keep it consistent and common. We also have support for HTTP and HTTPS out to REST APIs, as well as MQTT to get you more access to that edge data, and OPC UA, which is becoming more and more of a standard in the automation industry. So also to mention that Edge can act as both the OPC client as well as an OPC server. We also have mobile access, which we've just seen, and web solutions available through HTML5 browsers or Android and iOS applications, as well as the ability to natively connect to an on-premise AVEVA historian or to a cloud base such as AVEVA Insight. So Edge is modular, and what this means is that it gives you the flexibility. If you are not happy with the price point or quality of hardware that you're using, you can change that, as we don't limit you to a specific hardware or software platform. The same with PLCs. We have a range of drivers for different PLC communications. You could also change between databases as well. Connection to databases is easy to use with native integration. There's no need for custom scripting. So looking at your investment protection over the years. So since 1997, when the first version was released in InduSoft, any project in any of the previous versions, so back from the days of InduSoft, at that time, can be opened in the current version with no migration. So this saves you time. So the reason for this is that we don't want you to lose all the previous work or time spent on developing that project. And while most of other softwares force you to change architecture and then your project becomes incompatible and you have to redevelop your project. So we don't want you to do that with the AVEVA Edge. We want you to keep going, learn and improve instead of starting over. Okay, so here we're looking at our MQTT connection. So MQTT is a publisher and subscriber communication, which is a standard protocol used widely in IoT solutions when you have cloud components or even on-premise. And AVEVA Edge provides MQTT Sparkplug-B specification. It's an enhanced version of MQTT. This allows for data to be in a predefined format in order for it to be read correctly without any custom scripts being done to extract data. So if we look at this diagram, we see that AVEVA Edge is a publisher and AVEVA System Platform is a subscriber. So information is read in AVEVA Edge from transmitters and PLCs of this turbine through the Modbus protocol, as we can see, and OPC UA as well. And that information is published to the MQTT broker using that Sparkplug-B specification. And then AVEVA System Platform subscribes to that data from the MQTT broker using also the Sparkplug-B specification. So allowing this data to be read in a correct format. Communication is also bidirectional. So once communication is established, AVEVA Edge can push data from to system platform and change values within system platform as well. So looking at AVEVA Insight integration, where we use AVEVA Edge as an IoT gateway, we know that there are customers who have assets that are geographically dispersed that need to push data to a central location to analyze, learn, and then improve their system. With AVEVA Edge, we can publish data to AVEVA Insight natively with ease and with the ability of store and forward. So meaning that when you lose communication to the cloud in a reasonable period of time, or for as long as you have local memory to keep saving data, AVEVA Edge will store the data locally, and once communication is re-established, AVEVA Edge will forward the data into the cloud. By publishing data to the cloud analytic tool, you are able to then analyze your data, learn from it, and then even feed it back into your system to improve your process. So let's have a quick look at how we can set up of the publishing to AVEVA Insight. Okay, so let's look at this demo. So here I'm using the PC demo application to publish to Insight. The first step is to start up our Studio Gateway database. So that's sitting in this following path. Once I've started that, it will be in my icon tray, which I can open and then set up my AVEVA Insight connection. So I choose that option. I put in my connection name. So I'm keeping that to be Edge to Insight and add that. Once I add it, I need to connect to my Insight account. So I have an existing account which I'm going to connect to and follow the steps. So first step is to select my solution, which I've created already. Then is to put in my data source name. So just to keep it consistent, I'm also putting that to be Edge to Insight. Click on next and then follow the following steps. So once this is completed, your connection will be created and listed. So we can close that. Now connection is set up. Next step is to add in our tags. So in the trend logger worksheet, I need to insert a worksheet, then label that. So we're also calling that edge to insight. Then I need to select the history format, which will be my historian. And then in the configuration, I need to change that from on-premise to AVEVA Insight, which is my publisher. Then I put in the connection name that I created in the Studio Database Gateway. Put in a prefix so I can identify from which Edge application is this data being published to or from. I add in my tags, so I got 2 tags in there, temperature and power. I can save that and close, and that's it. My setup is basically complete. Now I can just start up my application, and once my application starts to run, my data will be pushed to my AVEVA Insight account. So to verify that, I can quickly log into my AVEVA Insight account, connect to my solution, which is Edge to Insight. And once I've connected, I can then verify firstly my data source. So if I go to the administration tab, I can click on data sources, and then in there I can verify if my Edge to Insight source is there. And you can see it's there. It's been just updated a few seconds ago. I can go back to my home page, add in those tags and visualize them. So searching the prefix, I can see there's my 2 tags. I can select it, add it as content, and then I can see this is my data coming through from my Edge application. I can also then adjust the visual settings to visualize it in a line chart graph. And then that's it. It's simple as that. A few steps in your Edge application to publish to AVEVA Insight. And you have this data now sitting in the cloud where you can analyze it and then learn from it and then feed it back into your system to improve your processes. So now let's dive into some of the features and competitive advantages of AVEVA Edge. Okay, so a very nice inclusion to Edge was the ability to natively integrate with System Platform. So if you're already using System Platform, we can actually bring an Edge object into your Galaxy, and this will give you various advantages. We actually get seamless integrated development environment where we're able to access our existing Edge projects and create new Edge projects directly from the IDE. We also get automatic point mapping. This allows you to feed values, alarms, history from your Edge project back into System Platform Galaxy for synchronizing alarms, native support to on-premise historian, remote management, and even deployment handled by the IDE. So to make all this possible, we use an ITME view app object, which is included in AVEVA Edge installs. We also have MQTT Sparkplug B specification, as we saw previously, as well as the OPC UA integration that can also bring some of this Edge data into your System Platform Galaxy. That's if it exists, obviously, and of course this product can also act as a standalone if needed. Okay, so looking at the current situation that we have in industry, where we have a shortage of hardware and delivery times being quite long. With the AVEVA Edge being platform agnostic, meaning that we can develop our application and be able to deploy it to many different operating systems, such as Windows Embedded, Windows Desktop and Server editions, and Linux, amongst others. So this allows us to minimize downtime but not relying on specific hardware. So being scalable in the functionality, footprint, and platforms as well. So whilst being platform agnostic, AVEVA Edge also offers a few import wizards. So if you already have panels operating using Rockwell FactoryTalk ME or SE editions, Rockwell Panel Builder 32, or Eaton PanelMate, we're actually able to use these importers to convert these existing applications into AVEVA Edge and then utilize the tools within AVEVA Edge to modernize your application. So obviously we know that there would have been some engineering time involved for these projects or applications, and therefore these importers provide a cost-effective way to modernizing these applications and maintaining some of the original investment made for these projects. So let's look at what we have next coming up for AVEVA Edge in the next release. We'll look at that. Okay, so in terms of the next release of AVEVA Edge, which is the 2023 R2 revision, it's planned for Q2 2024. And these are some of the items that we can see in this version. So firstly, in terms of security, we have cybersecurity enhancements in this revision. If we're looking at the development environment, there's improvements that have been done in there as well. So for IoT view runtimes, we have improved logging performance. The standard and main driver sheets are available. We have tag integrations also available, all for IoT view. Python scripting is now included. So this provides an open, popular platform agnostic scripting language available for on IoT view as well as on the Windows runtime side. And then SVG import that was added in 2023, in the R2 revision, we've included documentation around this. And then looking at drivers, there are certain driver enhancements that have been done. These are listed in this slide. And MQTT also now supports multi-level topics. And other drivers has also been added in this release as well. So let's look at licensing options. Okay, so let's look a little bit into how licensing works. So in AVEVA Edge 2023, we introduced enterprise licensing. So this is the same licensing that we use across all of our other products such as InTouch, System Platform, PlanSCADA, and so on. So this is now to align with the license tag counts of these other products with the AVEVA Edge. With the enterprise licensing, when it's installed, it disables the hard key and soft key licensing. So keep that in mind when you're moving over. Existing Edge part numbers and legacy Edge licensing still continues to be supported. You still get the same feature set across all levels, and any license supports at least one concurrent thin client license. Unlimited versions provide unlimited tags and unlimited thin clients. Okay, so if you're looking for more information or software downloads for AVEVA Edge, you can visit our Knowledge and Support Center within aveva.com, where you can find technical information and software downloads. You can also visit the AVEVA Edge product page, where you can find on-demand videos, tutorials, webinars, and success stories. And also on the product page, we also have a live demo which you can interact with. Okay, so let's look at some key takeaways of this product. Okay, so some key takeaways of this product. Firstly, we want AVEVA Edge to be comprehensive, meaning that everything is included and easy to use. We also want AVEVA Edge to be flexible and open, allowing you to tie into tools that you may have, want, or need, and again, being sustainable and affordable, while depending on how you want to deploy the project, whether you want to position those funds in the CapEx or OpEx, it's up to you. Okay, in closing, I'd like to extend a special invitation to each of you. If you want to learn more about our products and experience them firsthand, I encourage you to visit our Customer Experience Center. Here you will find interactive demos and experts that are ready to answer any questions that you may have. Our Experience Center is located at our offices in the Waterfall Office Park in Midrand. If you are interested in scheduling a visit or learning more, please visit our website www.is3.co.za. And that's a wrap for me. Thank you for your time and attention. Your interest in our products means a lot to us, and we're excited about the opportunity to share more with you at our Customer Experience Center. Thank you once again, and we look forward to welcoming you soon.